I'm Dr. Kenny Handelman, and I'm here with an ADHD coaching video for you. I'm here with Diane O'Reilly from IndigoTreeCoaching.com, and we're going to talk about the importance of a family meeting, particularly, obviously, if you have a child or teen with ADHD. And even if you have a child or teen with ADHD, and even a parent with ADHD, or two or more kids with ADHD, this becomes even more important. So, Diane, thank you for joining me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Nice to be here, Dr. Kenny.
So let's just start off with the concept. Why do people need a family meeting in the first place?
Well, like you said, when you have a family with ADHD, you often have parents who have it too, right? So there's a lot going on. And we have busy lives. And, what I've found with my own family, with my children with ADHD and myself, and also my clients, that when they put a family meeting into place, things just run smoother. They're able to communicate things that they normally wouldn't get together to do. They're able to look at the week ahead for plans. They're able to try and diminish any bickering or arguments that are going on if there's siblings. They're able to institute rules and consequences. There are a ton of benefits. I could go on all day, but they really help with the family with ADD.
Well, I think that's really important because working with lots of families, certainly I hear about the fact that the communication may not be great, that on a day-to-day basis there may be behavioral issues, frustrations, upsets, and then they don't get together to talk about what's happening next week, what's happening on Wednesday, and then that can actually make it worse, right? Because then the parent says, well, you didn't tell me that you had that assignment due, or you didn't tell me that form was needed at school, and then the teen, and all that stuff, so it can just build up. Is that been your experience?
Which is like every day in our house, it's kind of like all you're doing is putting out fires,
Right.
We're just literally looking at what's in front of us, trying to get through the day, and we lose sight of the big picture, So family meetings give you that big picture, at the end of the week.
You use this with your family as well?
I do. We have one every Sunday. Sometimes we miss one if things are, too crazy, but we notice when we don't have one. It really shows,
So for people who may not know about your family, do you have kids with ADHD?
Yeah, I have 4 boys, and 3 of them are diagnosed with ADD, and the eldest one's on the borderline. So, yeah.
So 4 boys, lots of ADD, busy household.
Yeah, plus myself and my husband. So, it's like Lynn says, it's all ADD all the time, right?
Do you have a dog?
I do.
Does your dog have ADD?
Yeah, it certainly does, yeah.
Okay, we can drop that. So let's just talk. We've talked about the need for it, and I guess some of the benefits as well, that it can really help with being planful for the week, communication, addressing issues, all of that kind of stuff. And I guess that can make for a more peaceful household, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does.
So how do people set it up? Like, what's your recommendation for getting it going properly?
Well, there's definitely, some wiggle room for, to fit your individuality with your family on how you do it. But, I have a format that I give to my clients, and that's what I want to take you through on Monday when we do the topic, okay? So, so that everybody does have a job and so on. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to, I can't go through all the pieces right here, but generally, where to start, some of the do's and don'ts, some of the jobs that you would hand out, the structure.
Okay. Well, just give me a kind of a high-level chunk, like, give me sort of like a bird's-eye view of what happens. How do you set it up and what goes on? Just so, some parents will join us for our coaching calls, some may not, but I'd like them to at least have an idea to get started, because not many people write about setting up family meetings successfully. So share some high-level overview.
Okay, so first of all, you choose a time when it's all agreeable to you, and try and stick with it. We do Sunday mornings, 10 a.m.-ish. That way it's out of the way for the day, and also because it's Sunday, you can say, okay, what's coming up for the week. We choose participants, we get the kids involved, so it's their meeting too, right? So we have somebody who's going to read the minutes from the last meeting, somebody's going to take these minutes from this meeting, somebody is going to be the chairperson and read out the agenda. Then we get into appreciations. We begin the meeting appreciating things for the week. That might be appreciating the dog, which it often is in our house, appreciating each other, appreciating tasks, or life in general, or a sunny day, or whatever. But it just starts the meeting off on a good note. And then we get into the minutes from the last meeting, which sometimes we'll say, well, how did that go? We'll review, how have we been doing on that? Are we on task for those things? And then we get right into the new agenda. So number one on the agenda, for example, my sons, have a lot of this sort of stuff. My brother's always coming into my room and he doesn't knock on the door,
right?
For example,
Right. Okay. So you actually keep minutes.
Yeah, of the solution, not, all the little bits that go on, but just of the solution. So then that gets posted on the corkboard that you see behind me,
right.
And that's just a reminder in the next week, again, to give that big picture view again, because as ADDers, we do lose track of what our goals were and where we're at. And so each week we revisit, oh yeah, we said we were going to do that and we didn't even get around to that. Or, or we did do that and we did it really well, so let's celebrate that.
Okay, and then I guess, do you have some kind of a binder or a filing system to keep them all in one place when you're done, so they don't end up in a kind of an ADD pile somewhere?
No, I don't. No, the minutes for the week go on the board,
yep.
And then when they're done for the week, they go in the recycling. So
okay.
It's not a big deal to maintain it. But you could do, anyone could do a notebook or a binder. We have other things that we bring to the meeting, like we bring the basket with the rewards and stars that we give out for the week, and we bring the allowance book when we're paying out allowance and stuff like that. So, it helps to stay on track of all of that stuff, and having the allowance and the rewards in the meeting helps the kids to, see the value of the meeting as well, because
sure.
They are getting something out of it. It's not just the parents, sitting around telling them what to do, right?
Great. So I'd love it if you could share just a couple of things that would often be on the agenda. So you mentioned, like, my brother comes into my room too much. What are some of the things you may put on the agenda?
Okay, so, it could be computer use is a big one. Staying too long on computers. For instance, this week, the minutes are, we are trialing from Monday to Thursday, no computer use for the kids to help them stay on track for their goals with their studying, which is not taking priority at the moment. And, we'll revisit that on Sunday at the meeting to see how that does. It is often the same things, tidying up, doing your chores, respectfully, and it's okay to revisit the same things. We
Absolutely.
do have to remind each other all the time. It's not good to get into a mindset of, I brought this up once and now it's going to be fixed. So that's where some of the do's and don'ts will come in as well.
Do you ever get one or more of the kids saying, these meetings are crap, I don't want to do them, why do you force us, and how do you deal with that?
Well, and they do, and they say nobody else has to do what we do, and I'd say, well, nobody else has 4 kids, and 3 of them have ADD, right? So we've got to do it. And actually, when we don't do it, the kids do see the difference, and we talk about that, often in appreciations. We talk about, have you seen the difference this week in, Connor's behavior towards you because you're, having, less computer time and his mood is better. Yes, I am seeing that, or a big one, Dr. Kenny, which I love, and parents would love this, is that you get, especially if you've got siblings, them coming to you all week saying, "Oh, he's doing this and he's doing this," and you get an earful, and you can say, "Well, that sounds like a really great thing for the agenda. Why don't you put it on the agenda?" So then, instead of them spending all week whining about this, or just getting into a negative spiral, bickering, they now know, I've got a forum for this. I'm going to get it sorted out. I'm going to be heard. I might even get a solution, and they run and they put it on the agenda, which is there all week on the board.
Excellent. So it works for parents. It can actually work for the kids and teens too. You've just given an example about how when they put it on the agenda, they know it's going to be addressed, it's going to be addressed. and that can deflect 5 or 6 days of arguing throughout the week. So that's
and
excellent.
it does. You know, I think with the older kids, you do have to remind them all the time of the benefits. But you know, younger kids really love it. They really like having a job. They like having a voice. They feel empowered. So
and then they get acknowledged each week for their progress.
Yes, yeah, exactly, with the rewards and so on.
Excellent. So Diane, thank you for this. I think this will be very helpful for the people watching this video, for parents
You're very
who are
welcome.
dealing with kids and teens with ADHD and struggling with some of that day-to-day, week-to-week stuff. And you mentioned we're going to be doing a coaching call as part of the Attention Difference Disorder Insiders membership. That will be on Monday, February 13th, 2012 at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you're an insider, please join us for the call. And if you're not an insider, if this sounds good to you and you'd like to learn more specifics, please join us, and we'll have a link below this video. Thank you very much, Diane.
You're very welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye.